Hey out there, Pillow Fort friends. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Sophia. Welcome to The Nightly from Hatch, a slumber party for pop culture lovers.
Sophia, it is so good to see you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well this evening. I installed a light this weekend. Very exciting stuff.
Also, just like very home improvement, taking the bull by the horns, adulting stuff too.
I'm in my home improvement bag. It was not like, I obviously was not like playing around with wires. I'm not there. And I don't really imagine that I will be there yet, ever. But it was like a light with a cord attached that I put into the ceiling and is honestly beautiful. I'm very happy with it. But boy, oh boy, is it scary to screw something into your ceiling, huh?
Oh, yeah. And to be on the ladder. And
be on the ladder. Or in my case, to be on the dining table.
Oh, I don't know if dining room tables are designed to have humans on them.
I don't know either. And I sat on it for a minute to say, can this hold my weight? And then when it did, I said, okay, we're going to get on my feet and see what we can get going.
Sophia.
Because I really was like, oh my God, my ceilings are really high, which is of course like lovely. But I was like, dear God, I don't want to have to help my super carry a ladder up 4 stairs. I was like, I just don't want to, I don't want to have to do that. And so I'm going to do it on the table. But I think one day soon I'm gonna have to bring the ladder in because I have some curtains that I need to put up that I need a ladder for. So
yeah. Well, please be careful with all future home improvement endeavors.
I'm trying.
Well, speaking of home improvement things, I had a plumber come and fix the kitchen faucet. Mm-hmm. And it was a master plumber with his apprentice.
Okay.
And I was just sitting at the dining room table while they were in the kitchen changing this faucet out.
Yeah.
And the things I overheard, Sophia, I wish I had a recorder running. Okay, I just jotted them down so I can share some with you.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay. Oh no, this doesn't come with instructions.
Oh.
Why did you install it that way? That's not where the screw goes. Can't you see the screws don't go there? Here's another thing. That part that we actually need for this is in the truck. Do you want to go to the truck? I think we can make do without that necessary part.
They need to be keeping their voices down. I'm also like, you need instructions? You're a master plumber.
You're a master plumber. You are at the top of your field. You essentially own this entire company and have a whole crew of people working underneath you. But then the funniest part was eventually I could hear them just playing YouTube cooking videos and talking about what they would make of the videos. Oh, yeah, lasagna soup doesn't seem that hard to make. Yeah, it's easier than lasagna. And I was like, are you literally talking about making lasagna soup and I'm still waiting to get this faucet installed?
Oh my gosh. It is something. Sometimes when you have someone come do something in your apartment, you're like, literally, what are your credentials? Because you're freestyling.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. If you're a master plumber, your job's probably very stressful. Maybe you do need to take a minute just to watch a cooking video from time to time.
Yeah, of course.
But what I was overhearing was not instilling confidence. At the end of the day, though, I do have to say the faucet looks great. It works great. No leaks anymore because there were leaks. And so everything is great now. It just was a little bit frustrating. And there was a certain point where I kind of felt like, should I just try to do this myself? Kind of like you getting on a table and installing a light fixture. There was a part of me that's like, should I have just tried to do this myself?
No.
But it's done now and things are better. It's all fine. It's all fine.
I could never. The faucet, it's like that's one of there are things I will absolutely draw the line with that I'm like, I'm not messing around with that, faucet being one of them.
All right. Well, Sophia, switching gears, what do you say we do some Drowsy history? All right, Sophia, what history are we going to try to recount tonight?
Okay. Tonight, I have a story for you. And I actually think, I'm like, maybe I will start the story and then you'll find out what the history is because I think it's fun if it's a bit of a reveal. Is that cool?
Okay.
This one I actually think I have, it might shock some listeners, but I think I might be more competent at retelling this than Finding Nemo or the other movies that I've tried to recount because I did a little bit of like brushing up. So, okay, we're in Boston. It's 1919, 1920.
Ooh.
It's winter, okay? And we're in the north end of Boston. excited to know if you know what this is.
Wow. Okay, so north end of Boston, for folks who don't know, is also kind of referred to Boston's Little Italy. It's a very charming area with historic homes, row houses, brick lanes, and so on. It's just like when you think of New England, quaint city, this is what the north end is. It's so adorable. And it's
really European because I feel like it's that's one of those parts of Boston where you're you guys had no plan. The streets are willy freaking nilly. And you guys really had no plan. And some of them are so skinny where you're okay, an ox cart can get through here, but nothing wider than an ox cart will get through this thing that's essentially an alley that's supposed to be a road. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay, so there's this huge tank. It is 50 feet tall. Do you like them? I'm guys, I really tried. Guys, get excited. I really tried. This is what it'd be like if I was a teacher. Okay. I'm there's a tank and it's 50 feet tall. I
think I have some idea of where the story's going, but I'm not going to step on it because I love how you're telling it. I love it. Okay, so there is a tank and it basically is filled with molasses. Do you know the rest? Do you know where we're going? Okay. I know exactly where we're going. I'm so happy.
We have this tank that's filled with molasses, quite literally filled to the brim with molasses because they just got a new shipment of molasses into the tank. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's the winter, but this was an unseasonably warm day. Mm-hmm. And also the new molasses that they had just put in the tank was also warm. So it's warmer than normal in the tank, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. People also say that, sometimes this tank oozes molasses. Mm-hmm. They say that. They actually also say, maybe they even had to paint the tank brown so that people can notice how much molasses was oozing out of it. Maybe even something like that. And so it's the middle of the day. People in this area feel and hear something. They feel basically an earthquake. They're the ground is rumbling, something is not right. And then they hear a really loud sound. It sounds horrible, whatever they hear. There's actually, people were hearing lots of different things. Some people are we heard a roar. Other people were it sounded like a machine gun going off. So there's a lot of different sounds
Crackling,
exploding, etc.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things, but yeah.
Something shifted, literally. Yes. And basically, I think you guys can tell where this is going, but yes, the tank of molasses has exploded and burst open. And of course, the molasses is now flooding the streets of Boston.
Yes, okay. The Great Molasses Spill.
The Great Molasses Spill of the year of 19-something.
This is textbook level. Yes.
This is. I really tried. Well, the thing about this, if you guys want to know the truth, is that either I'm going to know it or it's going to be we don't know anything. So there's not really an in-between. My brain doesn't really store information like that. It's we know it or we don't. So we're trying. This week, we know it. Yeah, and also, I don't really, this is stuff that I don't fully understand. Maybe you guys can consult your textbooks on this one, but for some reason, because of the way that molasses behaves, it's different than water, which means it moves actually much quicker than water would in this scenario.
So it's so thick and heavy.
I think it's so heavy that it just gains speed really fast. And so the molasses is flooding through the streets at about 35 miles per hour.
That's really fast, by the way.
It's really fast. It's fast enough for if it was molasses and it hit you, it would hurt.
Oh, absolutely. You can't escape a 35-mile-per-hour river of molasses hitting you.
No. I'm also getting word from our pillow fort gods that molasses is a non-Newtonian fluid.
What does that mean?
Which means that it's a fluid that does not follow Newton's law.
Whoa.
And it changes how it moves and flows based on stress. So I don't really know what the stress of that situation is.
Wow. Maybe hitting the narrow buildings of the North End.
Maybe
increasing pressure as those alleys get narrower.
Yes.
Things like that.
Things like that.
Maybe the increased temperature of that day because it was warmer than usual that day.
Yes. All these things.
So if it happened anywhere other than the North End on a warm day, the circumstances might be different.
They might be different. It's important for everyone to know that I got a D on multiple, probably, of my science finals in high school. Anyway, so I don't really know about that. Okay, so the molasses is flooding the streets. It's non-Newtonian. It's moving, which basically means it's moving all crazy.
Yes.
And essentially, it's so powerful that it swept a train off its tracks.
Yes.
Yes. And I guess also this is the part that I was like, that's crazy and even hard for me to believe, is that it swept buildings off of their foundations.
Yeah.
Which is so, so crazy.
That is wild.
I know.
That's more destructive than like when I think of Tornado Alley growing up in Minnesota.
Yes.
Every once in a while a building would be destroyed like that. But we're talking a whole river of molasses, so it's multiple buildings.
Yes.
Being destroyed like this.
Yes. Yeah. The image of this that is stuck in my mind that I remember from when I first learned about it is that there was a boy that was literally swept up by the molasses and rode it like a wave.
Wow.
And then he like landed, I think he passed out. And then when he woke up, he was like home or something.
And licking his arms because they were so sweet and delicious.
Exactly. I
don't know about that part, actually. We don't know.
So that's like what happened. I also learned that, I guess, in the aftermath, the people who were in charge of this like molasses tank or whatever that they had tried to say that it happened because of some type of like plot against them. They tried to say that it was like there was like nefarious.
Blame the British.
Interference.
It's them again.
On, literally. Meanwhile, they're like, the tank was like constantly using molasses, and literally you had to paint it brown because there was so much molasses coming out of it. And then later, the scientists, were like, the tank was bad. The tank was just far too thin to hold molasses.
No, clearly the structural integrity is a problem if you're practicing covering up the leaks.
Yes,
you're trying to not let the leaks be obvious, even though it's leaking like crazy.
No, exactly. Yeah, there were like millions and millions of dollars worth of damage in the city. It was obviously like incredibly difficult to clean up because it's molasses, which is kind of famously difficult to get rid of.
Yes.
I think they ended up like basically pumping in seawater because they were like, that helps dissolve it. So they pumped that in.
Oh, yeah.
People said that sometimes on a hot day, you could still smell the molasses for years and years and years afterwards.
Oh, I believe it. Because, I mean, if you have some of those old wooden buildings in the North End, or it's even like absorbing into the brick, or
totally
the wooden shutters of houses, I imagine it's in the road foundation. It's probably everywhere.
Yeah. Literally, it's everywhere. It's like, and it doesn't like evaporate like water. It's just like there now.
It's molasses.
It's molasses. It's on a foundation of molasses. But that's one of the classic, like, insane things that has happened. And I was fond of the story the first time I heard it.
I love that story. I love the corporate cover-up of it. I love the pointing fingers, but I just love the insanity of molasses causing that much destruction. Molasses, which we associate with cookies and sweet things.
I know.
And who doesn't love a molasses cookie, right?
I know.
It's just bananas to me. That's something that's so wonderful that the world over people love.
Yes.
You don't love so much when it takes over your town.
I know. It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory gone awry, like something. This is actually something I think about a lot, which is that I think about one of the things, the images in my head that I always think about is like jumping into a pool of something that isn't water, and often it's like food, because I think like, oh my God, you'd kind of just sink to the bottom. I always think about it like jumping into a pool of pudding. I'm like, you would just sink.
Yes. Unless like the molasses, it's moving very fast and doesn't follow Newtonian laws. Then you can just ride it like on a surfboard like that one kid did.
Yes, we need like a whirlpool, or what are they called? Like a lazy river of pudding and molasses.
See, that would be fun.
That
or
could be
would
amazing.
It?
I don't know. I don't need to.
I do love the molasses story so much, though. I'm so glad that this is what you brought to our Drowsy history tonight.
I know.
And it also is just a fun thing to think about as I think about drifting off to sleep, because sometimes when I'm having a hard time falling asleep, Sophia, I do this little exercise where I imagine I'm on a raft floating down the Mississippi River.
Oh, that's a good one.
And it just is one of these things where I'm like, okay, I'm being rocked to sleep. Nothing but the stars above me. I'm moving along. And tonight, though, I think if I have trouble sleeping, I'm going to imagine it's not the Mississippi. I'm going to imagine it's the Molasses River running through the north end of Boston in the early 1900s instead.
Floating on it.
Yeah, and it's going to smell sweet. You know, the way certain kinds of scented holiday candles can help us feel relaxed and put us to sleep and so on. It'll be kind of like that scent, just relaxing me.
I know.
Putting me to sleep. I
bet those people were so sick of the smell of molasses, though. Like, to me, I'm like, it's a lovely smell. And I bet they were like, oh my God, if someone ever tries to give me a molasses cookie, all hell will break loose. It's like, oh my God.
It's so true that anything that we love in this world can become not lovely anymore if there's too much of it.
Yeah.
Like, here's an example of something where it's like, oh, I really love kittens. I know you love kittens, Sophia. But if you walk into a room and there are 10,000 kittens and they outnumber you and they're like floor-to-ceiling kittens.
Now I'm scared.
Then it's scary. Then it's not cute anymore. And it's kind of the same with molasses where it's like, molasses. But, oh, God, this is hundreds of gallons and it's taken over the entire city. Not so cute anymore, right?
Not quite so cute anymore. Molasses is no longer cute.
No. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I loved this Drowsy history so much, Sophia. And I already told you my game plan. I know what I'm going to think of while I try to fall asleep tonight.
I think I might think of the same thing. I'm like, I think I'm going to be doing some visualizations of myself on a raft on top of a molasses river.
And everyone else out there, if it helps you, we encourage you to do the same thing.
Yes,
just please. Relax, close your eyes, ride the molasses.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much again, Sophia. That was great. Have a good night. Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, Kristen.